Celebrate Thanksgiving with Safeway. This week at Safeway, get whole Signature Farms frozen turkey, 10 to 15.5 pounds for $8 each, or 16.1 to 22 pounds for $10 each. Member price with a minimum $50 purchase, limit one per household. Plus, packs of Coca-Cola, Pepsi, 7-Up, Dr. Pepper, or AHA Sparkling Water are buy two, get three free. Limit 3 free items. Also this week, get 5-pound bags of Signature Farms russet potatoes for 97 cents each with digital coupon. Limit 1. Visit Safeway.com or head in store for more details.
Hey there, it's Carl, and just picking up where we left off from the month of Stop the World You Can Get Off meditations. If you've got any feedback on those, I don't know how that went for you, but it now forms the basis of Learn Meditation Made Simple in a Month. 31, at least 31 recordings that you can get your ears round and give it a go and see how you get on. And the important thing is your reaction, your feedback, what's going on for you. That's what we can work with. It's not just about box ticking. I mean, the discipline's really important, and the habit, the routine, all of that is very important, and learning a new skill that could be very powerful in your life. But the real work, I think, the real power, the real value is in what's tangibly been brought about for you. What have you realised? What are you struggling with that could be the basis for realisation? Excuse me. So that's another matter. And we move on now from meditation made simple, from stopping the world with a technique to bring you back into your senses and help attenuate and ameliorate the effect of the worldly world, the rational mind, on our daily lives. On life itself, because it's the important distinction here. There's a big difference between life and living. And this is all about the little reset, your little reset that individuals will undergo as a matter of their own will against the great spectre of the Great Reset as one option for humanity. The little reset is yours. And for you to drive, and for you to be a product of your willpower and awareness that will help you enjoy life, rid yourself of unhappiness, and be free, potentially. No guarantees, because it's just not like that. Sorry, I'm making myself giggle here. Sat in the sunshine, cold air, warm sun here in Portugal. And it'll be good to start. I want to talk about the conundrum of personal growth, and it encompasses and brings in all that I've just mentioned. But let's come to our senses, shall we, quickly first, and feel the weight of your body. If you're standing up or wherever you are, be aware, be mindful of the position you're in and your place, your X that marks the spot in time and space, and where your body is. Be where your body is right now. Be aware of what your body's doing. Is it sat on a chair? My butt is on a cold slab here that hasn't warmed up in the sun just yet. My body is feeling the heat of the sun. To that extent, I can be in my body and experience what's going on from my body without any further discussion, discourse, or thought processes. Where's your body now? And detune a little bit if you can to what I'm saying. Hear what I'm saying without listening too intently. Maybe disengage, and I know this is a big risk because it sounds like I'm brainwashing you into a cult if I say, disengage your thinking mind, the one that's just, is that right? I don't agree with that. I agree with that. I'm not asking you to agree with me. I'm just asking you to hear me and let the words wash over you, and any decent value I think you'll receive. And I don't want you to believe me. I don't want you to agree with me. I just want you to be able to hear. And the best possible chance of hearing is hearing without listening, and not constantly, do I agree with that? What does that mean? Oh, that reminds me of what that other guy said. Just be as free as you possibly can in the listening experience or the hearing experience, rather than being too intently focused. And be aware of your breathing as well. If at any moment you feel yourself abstracting yourself from life, as in going into your thought processes, breathe. Always good for presence and settling yourself, whatever yourself is, and we'll talk more about that. Okay, so this conundrum then of personal growth, personal development, self-help. You get the gist. We're involved in some loosely defined by human words, English words, of this endeavour to grow, to evolve, to expand. But the purpose, logically, literally, to bring it back down to earth, to make it, to use the dreaded SMART goals. What we're doing here, to just bring us back to a concerted effort and a concerted intention, is to live free of unhappiness. And that's a good contextual marker. If you're not here to be free of your unhappiness, you're wasting your time and mine, okay? And I understand it might be of some passing interest to the rational mind, to the curious mind, to the constant seeker. Is what he's saying any good? Is this method any good? Okay, fair enough. There's always the curiosity of the mind, isn't there? But what I'm really interested in here, intention and context, I think defines most things in this human world. The intention is to live free of unhappiness. And the context is a space to do that. A regular... Well, I intend to be aware and available to anybody interested in that endeavour. So that's part of the context. There will be materials and a space to discuss it and reflect and share what you're going through with that. I think that's probably the best I can do at the moment, is to have that intention. Our intention here is to come back to life, like truly come back to life. Come out of the shadow of living. Living is a shadow of life, isn't it? It's our activities in our living lives are the things that we so often want to be free of. But, two sides to that. There is an amount of living to be done here. And that will also be addressed in what we're talking about from time to time. You can't be here as a disembodied... Well, maybe you can, but I'd like to hear from anyone who's a disembodied entity, energy, send me an email. I'm talking to people who can hear this with their ears, and people who can speak back with their mouths and tongues and come back at me with a human response to this. And we're talking about attenuating again, ameliorating the effects of living. Many people, and you may, I know for myself, I've been in a situation, I've been overwhelmed by living, and that starves the joy of life. Literally, it takes life out of the equation because you're just rationally, industrially, quite reasonably involved in this whole living game that humans now do on this apparent planet and this existence. We've taken the fun out of everything, to coin a phrase. Humans are in the rational endeavours. They've lost contact often for great amounts of time, for many weeks, months, even years. This is why I think people who want to retire and want to drop out and want to reconnect with nature want to do that because they feel themselves consumed by living life. And they want to come back to life. So that's what we're about here. That's what we're about here. And the conundrum of personal growth is that, who's running who here? If you decide that you want to grow personally, and I don't mean like put on weight. I mean, that would be one definition, isn't it? Personal growth is just to bloat up and put on loads of extra weight as if for a film role. Or because, your anxiety causes you to eat. That would be one form of personal growth. I'm not talking about that specifically. Can do, but not talking about that specifically here. Talking about this notion of seeing that you want to be free. You want to live without unhappiness. You want to be joyful. You want to stop doing some things that are clearly in your own calculations and analysis are ruining your life, but you can't. Or even if not ruining, then just undermining your chances of enjoying life with all the habits that we've got and the personality traits and the dysfunctional behaviour. And in that dynamic, it can be assumed, can't it, that there's something viewing, there's something that's saying, I want to grow, I want to change, I want to transform. And there's the one that's still doing those behaviours. So what's going on there? Who is who and who's running who? And our endeavour here is to be the viewer, the observer of that going on as much as is possible, and less of the victim, if you like, or the perpetrator of the dysfunctional behaviours. So we have this self-consciousness, don't we, as human beings, which it would appear much of the animal world doesn't have. I don't know for sure. It appears that way, doesn't it? My dogs are instinctive. Most creatures I see in, depictions of nature programs, and my own view of nature as I see it is of the creatures and nature itself according to instinctual, drives, programs, incredibly intelligent, often elaborate, beautiful programs of behavior, the seasons, the growth cycle. And without our human interference, they seem to do it pretty well. And then there's us lot who can not only grow and we have a growth cycle, don't we, of birth to death, and we do things in between, procreate, mate, make things, develop and create our culture. And not only can we, if we so choose, see, like God on the seventh day, this is good. I made something good. We have that self-conscious capability, don't we? I did that, and I can see that I did that, and I like what I did. Or, alternatively, I didn't like what I did there. And this is what prompted this. Was in writing my website materials. I came across the bit. I use a very American salesy sort of website, as is the vogue of selling courses online. And I came to the bit in the website builder which says satisfaction guarantee, and all the marketers say, don't they? Which often makes me feel quite nauseous, I have to say, but this is the world we live in. Yeah, give 100% satisfaction guarantee, give the money back, it's a digital product, it won't matter anyway, you're not losing out on a load of physical inventory and shipping costs and everything, so why not offer a 100% satisfaction guarantee? And I would do that before it being suggested to me by a marketing person. It's one option, isn't it? If you don't like what you're doing with me, look, let's go our separate ways. Here's your money back. All is well. That will be one way of dealing with a mismatch, wouldn't it, of expectations? But seeing it on the page, 100% satisfaction guarantee, I can almost offer you a 100% dissatisfaction guarantee. And this relates completely to the conundrum of personal growth. In being the viewer, the observer of that which you would like to be free of, and actively being involved in that process, I think you will become dissatisfied, unhappy. In this course of ridding yourself of unhappiness, you will very likely experience what you will feel is unhappiness, some sort of realization, epiphany, or an exercise, to let's say we address the whole business of living your life right and getting your affairs in order so that they don't drag on you, so they don't make you emotional, finessing, evolving, streamlining your life, getting on top of money, getting on top of your relationships. Whilst in theory that seems very right, does it not? And let me know if you agree with that or not. But surely, if you're not wasting time and energy and emotion and being triggered by your relationships and your relationship with money and people, then you're free. You can't do both. You can't be in an emotional state whilst being free of unhappiness. I'm sorry. There's no discussion there as far as I'm concerned. If you're triggered and upset and angry, you're not enjoying the beauty of life, as I can feel now as I open my eyes and stop talking for a minute and look at this blue sky in front of me and feel a very mild bliss in me, a contentment. There's nothing wrong right now. I'm enjoying talking to you. All is well. Now, I can't be doing that if I'm worried about something or angry about something. It just doesn't work. And so this is the conundrum. This is the conundrum. In the viewer, the observer, the witness of the other one or ones that are troublesome in our lives, that troublesome one will be asserting itself more than the observer and the witness. And you will experience dissatisfaction and think this bloody course maybe. No, not nothing. You might just observe it somewhere else, whilst we have this relationship going on the side in our pursuit of living without unhappiness. Something might come along and it's like it counteracts the messages of what we're talking about here, You want to get emotional, and you do. And no judgment intended. This is about logic and fact. It's not about making emotions wrong. It's just about seeing what effect they have and what balance we might create in our lives. But I think it's fair to say that as the one looks out at one's behaviour and feelings and emotions, there is a good chance that dissatisfaction will be experienced. And therein lies the conundrum. The one that is in line with healing and transformation is not necessarily the same one who has, up to this point, been causing chaos. So be aware of that. Be aware of that the dissatisfaction guaranteed, pretty much 100%. And it's only to be expected. It's very likely. I'll put it that way. Don't expect it, but don't be surprised if it happens. Okay, you might be shocked, of course, but you needn't be surprised. I think there's my cue to go. I just had a quiet moment with you, sat on my sunny step, and it's time for me to move on. And I welcome your reflections, your reactions, your responses to that. Carl@carlmonson.com. I'll speak to you soon.
Okay, round 2. Name something that's not boring.
A laundry? Ooh, a book club. Computer solitaire, huh?
Sorry, we were looking for Chumba Casino. That's right. ChumbaCasino.com has over 100 casino-style games. Join today and play for free for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. ChumbaCasino.com. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+. Terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
With the Lucky Land Slots, you can get lucky just about anywhere.
This is your captain speaking. We've got clear runway and the weather's fine, but we're just going to circle up here a while and get lucky. No, nothing like that. It's just these cash prizes add up quick. So I suggest you sit back, keep your tray table upright, and start getting lucky.
Play for free at LuckyLandSlots.com. Are you feeling lucky? No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+ terms and conditions apply. See website for details.